Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
The Roger Stone Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the Roger Stone Show on the Red Apple Audio Networks. Only minutes ago, President Donald Trump posted this to his Truth Social account. Congratulations to William J. Pulte, chairman of Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, the government's two mortgage agencies, and director of the Federal Housing Finance Agency, on the outstanding job he is doing. Keep moving forward, William. Don't let the radical left weaklings stop you. Joining us now on the Newsmakers line is the man himself, William J. Bill Pulte. Bill, welcome to the Roger Stone Show.
Thank you, Roger. Always good talking to you.
Well, I think the president's absolutely right here. You are one of the very few people, other than Tulsi Gabbard, who is actually holding people accountable. I have to point out that it was you and your agency who uncovered the 22-year crime spree of New York Attorney General Letitia James, in which she repeatedly engaged in mortgage fraud that other Americans have been prosecuted and convicted of. And after an exhaustive investigation by your agency, you sent a criminal referral to the Department of Justice so that Letitia James would be held accountable like any other average American would. Now, Letitia James has said repeatedly that no person is above the law. No one is above the law. She accused President Donald Trump of overvaluing his assets in order to make and get commercial loans to finance his real estate projects. All of those loans were repaid on time. Those who made the loans got $40 million in interest. But now we learn that Letitia James has $586,000 worth of in 3 mortgages on a property that appraises for $125,000, and that 2 of those mortgages are not reflected on her state-required disclosure forms. So you made a criminal referral to the Department of Justice on this matter. Tell us in a nutshell what your investigation into Letitia James and her mortgages showed.
Well, mortgage fraud is a real problem in this country, as you know, and pretty much everybody knows. I mean, everybody tries to get a mortgage when you get a home, and if we don't have a strong and secure system, the first thing that can happen is the economy can crater and the housing market can crater. So we've got to have a strong housing system, and so we are laser focused on mortgage fraud. And Roger, I would say this to you, it doesn't matter whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or a celebrity or a lawyer or anything. If you commit mortgage fraud, we are going to hold you accountable. And so I don't want to get into any specific cases, like you had mentioned one of the cases, but I will say this. If people say that they live in one area and they don't live in another area and they claim 2 primary residences, or if they overstate their income, or if they do any other variety of misrepresentations, we can't have that in the mortgage market. It's not something that we're going to allow, and we're going to do everything we can within the confines of the law to make sure that it doesn't happen again.
I have to point out, Bill, once again, it was the investigators at your agency that uncovered similar mortgage fraud by Watermelon Head himself, pencil neck Adam Schiff. Adam Schiff defends himself by saying, President Trump has problems with the fact that I own 2 homes. No, the president himself posted these publicly available documents on his social media platform only minutes ago. Adam Schiff claimed that both his condo in Burbank and his home in Maryland were his principal legal residence, thus getting a lower mortgage rate and insurance rate on both properties. That is criminal fraud. If I did that, they would charge me immediately. So it seems to me that once again, I know you can't talk specifics about these cases. I'm only citing what has been publicly reported. But Adam Schiff, perhaps the greatest single congenital liar, huckster, and con man in the history of the U.S. Congress, has been busted. I just got an email, I guess it was a text message from my good friend David Schoen, the criminal defense lawyer, including this document, this affidavit that Schiff signed. And he just says, Schiff turns out to be a ganef, which is Yiddish for crook. And I think he has summed it up perfectly. Let's get to some bigger and more important issues. You have steadfastly called on Jerome Powell, the chairman of the Federal Reserve, to cut the interest rates on the American people. Now, based on a study by Barry Habib, who is recognized in the country as one of the leading experts on housing and the mortgage market, it appears to me that today the two indicators that by law the Federal Reserve is supposed to use when they determine the level of interest rates, inflation and unemployment, are either at the same rate or lower than they were the last 4 times the Federal Reserve cut interest rates on the American people. And the excuse that Powell gives us is he's uncertain what Donald Trump's very successful effort to negotiate better tariff deals for this country will have on the country. Well, here's one indicator. In the month of June, for the first time in decades, the United States government ran a surplus. Donald Trump brought in more than $422 million in new revenue from tariffs, and all of the panicans who said, oh no, inflation will go through the ceiling, inflation has remained low and the dollar has remained strong. So tell us in your own words, Bill, why you think Jerome Powell isn't cutting interest rates on the American people so they could go buy a home or a car or a motorcycle or whatever it is they want to buy.
I have no idea, but what he is doing is costing the American people real money. As the president has pointed out, we could save hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars a year. But most importantly, people could be able to afford their credit card bills, their car loans. These are things that elites like Jerome Powell are just out of touch, and hopefully he's gone soon.
Now, there's a lot of controversy regarding a $2.5 billion renovation of his already palatial headquarters in Washington. It's on Constitution Avenue, I believe. I drove by that today. I looked at the construction site. First of all, you come from a long line of home builders. Pulte Homes, one of the most famous home building families in the country. How does one spend $2.5 billion on a renovation?
It's hard to believe, and frankly, I think that we're going to find out that there's a lot of fraud there. I think we're going to get to the bottom of it. You know, Russ Vought, as you may know, who's the OMB director, myself, James Blair, we are all going to a huge visit this week, a huge tour of the Fed building, and we are going to uncover what has gone on. I want to know, where did all this asbestos removal go? Where did all of the things that they say cost $2.5 billion go? Roger, you know, I've been in construction my whole life. I've never seen asbestos cost anywhere near $2.5 billion. So where did this money go? Somebody needs to explain it. I think it stinks to high heaven, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see fraud like you wouldn't even believe in this building.
Well, we're talking about 40% overruns on the estimated initial cost, 40%. Now, Jerome Powell testified before the U.S. Senate, and he specifically said that the renovation plans do not include a private elevator for the board governors, do not include a private dining room for the board governors, no new marble, no new fountains, no roof garden. His words, not mine. Cynthia Loomis, the senator from Wyoming, immediately pointed out after reviewing the plans that Jerome Powell lied under oath to the Senate on the material question because the plan does include all of those opulent accoutrements. This guy looks to me like he's in deep, deep trouble. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who's going to be joining us here, soon, right here in the Roger Stone Show, has already sent a letter to the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, a criminal referral letter regarding the false testimony of Jerome Powell. This guy is, he is an elite, and I think he's acting in a partisan way. He knows that if he allows the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates, this economy will boom like never, ever before. He's the one acting politically. And I love the way President Trump and you and others refer to him as too late Powell. He's like a man looking at outdated data. He's like a man driving a car while looking in the rearview mirror. He really should step down if he doesn't want this economy to boom, if he doesn't want the average American to be able to afford to pay their credit card bills or own a new home or buy a new car. I really think it's time for him to step down. We've got about 2 minutes to this segment. Bill, you can add your thoughts to that sentiment. Appears we may have lost William J. Pulte. We'll give
there. Yeah, it just cut out. Go ahead.
So, Bill, I was just saying it was time for Jerome Powell to step down, don't you think?
It's time for him to step down. And look, here's the reality of the situation, Roger. If he doesn't step down, I think we're going to continue to uncover fraud. I think we're going to continue to uncover what has been going on at the Federal Reserve. I mean, think about all the money that's being spent in this building, $2.5 billion. And I wouldn't be surprised to see who's financing this building. Who's making money on this building? These are all things we're going to do. You know, they offered us a tour, Roger, at 7 o'clock on Friday night. They knew that the president had a dinner with senators at 7 o'clock on Friday night. So this thing is just, it gets worse by the day, and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going. And again, we have 4 years to save the country. So every day, every hour is absolutely critical right now.
Bill Pulte made a crucial decision recently where you can count your cryptocurrency holdings when you, as part of your assets, when you apply for a mortgage. He also provides more consumer choice when people have to go get a credit score. We're going to talk about those things when we get back. You're listening to The Roger Stone Show and the Red Apple Audio Networks, and we're talking to Bill Pulte. He is the chairman of both Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, as well as the Federal Housing Finance Authority. President Trump praised him in a post on social media only minutes ago, saying that Bill is doing a great job, but he should not be deterred by the left-wing weaklings who are trying to slow him down. I know, Bill Pulte, there is no chance of that. We'll be right back.
The Roger Stone Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This episode is sponsored by Friskies, who would like to tell your cats hi. Now, if that didn't get your cat's attention, there is one thing that always does the trick. Just pour some Friskies crunchy food in the bowl and you'll hear those paws come running. Works every time. With so many Friskies choices, you can always bring your cats running from their secret napping spots. There's always more to explore. See for yourself at Friskies.com or visit your local store.
My cat Freddie loves to be brushed and cuddled. But stirring up his cat allergens meant sneezing and itchy eyes. Then I found Purina One Live Clear. It's cat food that reduced the major allergen and my suffering in as little as 21 days. Now, we feel closer than ever. If you have issues with cat allergens, you really need to try Purina One Live Clear.
Try new Purina One Live Clear today. Purina One, a difference from day one.
Gatorade is the #1 proven electrolyte blend designed to hydrate better than water. So you can lose more sweat and raise your game. Gatorade, is it in you?
Hey, Fidelity. What's it cost to invest with the Fidelity app?
Start with as little as $1 with no account fees or trade commissions on U.S. stocks and ETFs.
That's music to my ears.
I can only talk.
Investing involves risk, including risk of loss. Zero account fees apply to retail brokerage accounts only. Sell order assessment fee not included. A limited number of ETFs are subject to a transaction-based service fee of $100. See full list at fidelity.com/commissions. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC, member NYSE, SIPC.
The Roger Stone Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we're back. We're talking to William J. Bill Pulte. The Wall Street Journal did a piece. I think we in the trade we call this a hit piece because Bill Pulte is one of the most effective members of President Donald Trump's team. Certainly one of the most dynamic, and he's making waves at what is normally a very sleepy agency, fighting to cut interest rates and make homes more affordable for the American people. Bill, they called you Little Trump. If that was an effort to belittle you, I think they failed. I think that is a testimony to your guts, to your courage, to the fact that you are charging forward. That's why I think the president was so complimentary of you minutes ago on Truth Social. I've seen a lot of hit pieces, planted hit pieces in my day. This one seems to be generated about the fact that you have expanded consumer choice by law, according to the law, when people have to go get a credit score in order to apply for a mortgage. Explain this to us, if you would.
Well, basically what we're trying to do is enable the president's agenda, which is to make sure that home ownership is available for all people. And this doesn't matter no matter what socioeconomic background you're in. If you are black, white, Hispanic, you name it, and you can afford a mortgage, you should be able to get a mortgage in this country. And so for what's happened for so long, Roger, as you know, is that people, they weren't able to maybe fill out the FICO score 100% correctly because they had some medical bill back towards college. So what we've done is got a very predictive indicator, which is Vantage Score. And hopefully FICO will come along, and hopefully there'll be way more credit scores that do this. But what it will allow you to do is count your rent towards your mortgage. And this is what should be happening in this country. If you are a candidate to be able to afford a mortgage, you should be able to get a mortgage. There shouldn't be some monopoly, whether it's FICO or any other monopoly, preventing you from doing it. And so that's what we're doing. And thanks to the president, we're able to get this done.
Another bold decision that I referred to briefly earlier is that when you apply for a mortgage, you can now use the cryptocurrency that you own as part of your assets that count towards your credit score and your ability to repay a mortgage. The president has emerged as a strong supporter of crypto. I think it is a bold move on his part. The Biden administration essentially tried to claim that cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, were securities, which they are not. They don't meet the 7-point test for what is a security. And they prosecuted people who were creating this new financial network. President Trump has embraced it, and now you, as the head of the FHFA, have embraced it. And the average American who may have some of their assets in cryptocurrency or Bitcoins can use that when they apply for a mortgage. We got about a minute and a half, Bill. Why don't you wrap this up?
Well, basically, that's right. I mean, if you have crypto and you have Bitcoin, Bitcoin in many ways, people say, oh, it's not a stable asset. Well, in many ways, it's more of a stable asset than other things. I mean, so you look at it and you say, look, at some level, as long as we account for risk, as long as we keep things stable and safe and secure, why should we not count crypto towards your mortgage? And so we've taken those steps, and Roger obviously will do it in a safe and sound manner. We're not going to do anything that's crazy here. But why shouldn't crypto be counted? Whether it's rent and, making sure that that's predictive for a mortgage, or whether it's crypto, if things are common sense, we are going to do it in America.
Yeah, President Trump signed a bill on Friday that kind of essentially legalized, in a formal way, stablecoin on a one-for-one basis, which I think is going to be good news for those who do own crypto and might want to buy a home after Bill Pulte, working under Donald J. Trump, brings down interest rates to make American housing affordable again. Bill Pulte, thank you for joining us today on The Roger Stone Show.
Thank you, Roger.
Coming up next, Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, a firebrand, and she really brings it. You're going to want to hear this.
The Roger Stone Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 350 plus undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.